A long time ago, some holier than thou priest got up in front of everybody and said, the means don't justify the end. And he might have been right, but since then, the saying has been appropriated so many times, it's almost lost all of its meaning.
Whatever that means.
Right? At the end of the day, who's to say? Morality is so fickle. Morality is so fluid. Who's right? Who's wrong? Good? Bad? Evil? Light? The line between them is often thinner and finer than a lot of us think, right? And today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of characters who I believe were entirely justified in the means that they took because the end was justified. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let's get right into it. Now, this first character that I'm going to be taking a look at often gets flack for being a villain, for going too extreme, but in my opinion, I don't think he went far enough. Yes, the first character up on the board is Light Yagami, guys.
That's right. I am Kira.
And honestly, I'm gonna let the results speak for themselves because Light did an absolute service to humankind. I believe that. I truly, truly believe that. Okay? Light erased 90% of all crime, of all human wars. Okay? Just that in itself justifies any and every action that he may have taken on his path to get there. Say Light was in our real world, right? And criminals started dropping. Now, for every 10 criminals that die, maybe there's one person who's innocent, who's on trial, who dies as well, right? And you know what? I think I might be being a little too disingenuous with those numbers, okay? Maybe for every 50 or 100 criminals, there's one innocent person, okay? Yeah, that sucks, of course, you know? But with that being said, sometimes you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
You want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs.
Okay? So, even in our real world, people get tried and they get sentenced all the time while they're innocent, okay? People spend years in jail innocent, by the way, okay? So I'm not really seeing too much of a big deal because honestly, that's not much different from what happens in our own world right now, right? Now, let's look at the end result. 90% of all crime. Take a look outside of your window and just imagine if 90% of crime was gone. And remember, this wasn't just in Japan. This was globally, okay? This was worldwide.
Went from Mr. 305, Dade County, to Mr. Worldwide.
Imagine waking up this morning and there's no news about Iran.
Nope.
Or the States. Or Russia, or Ukraine.
Nope.
Imagine you turn on your local news station and it's all good stories. There's no stories of Epstein files and private islands.
Nope.
Child grapers. No. It doesn't exist. And if it does, it's so minute, so small, such a small fraction that you don't even notice. Imagine having that safety to just walk around and be completely aware of the knowledge that there's no criminals among you. They've all been taken care of. No more criminals. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds great to me. That sounds amazing. Even relating it to our own world. Like, I don't think people realize how much of an impact that is. How much of a difference that is. Okay? That is genuinely a utopia. Genuinely a utopia. And then, you might have some people say, oh, it's not really a utopia because you're living in fear. I'm sorry. We have laws and regulations and all types of things right now to stop people. Okay? Who's living in fear? Unless you're a criminal and you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing, then yeah. I'm sure criminals are scared when Jim Gordon turns on the bat light too. Like, yeah. They're out here doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So if I'm not a criminal, if I'm not doing anything wrong, what do I have to worry about, Kira? What do I have to worry about? I'm screaming, go get them. Go get them. And on top of that, that means more of my tax dollars go in my pocket. Because they're not being spent on all these inmates in jail to take care of them. Like, honestly, people can talk about second chances and rehabilitation, and that's all fine and dandy. That's great. We should always strive to see the best in people, and people can be redeemed for sure. Like, that is true. But I also believe that some people are just too far gone, and sometimes there is no second chance. Like, there's some things that you just cannot come back from. There's some things that you don't get to be rehabilitated from. Like, if you're a PDF file, that's it. That's it. Well, like, what, like, there's no, like, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Oh, this is your 4th time committing murder? Let's rehabilitate you and let you back out. Like, no. I don't know about you guys, but I would be just like Light. Writing away 24/7. 24/7. Everybody in those Epstein files, gone. I don't care. Gone. And then I'm gonna go to the prisons. Gonna look up all the worst offenders. And you best believe, the drug dealer, gone. Murder, gone. And you can say in some cases, and like, of course, like, it would really have to be a case by case basis. There might be some people in there who had justifiable reasons, but at the end of the day, that's still a very small minority. Okay, the majority of people in these institutions are not good people. They should not be let out. They should not be rehabilitated. I truly stand by that. If the death note was in our world right now and I had it, I would do the same thing, or I would encourage whoever had it to do the same thing. That is the biggest service you can commit for humanity, to get rid of the scum among us. Okay? Erasing 90% of all wars, crime, like creating a better world for your fellow man. That's what life is about, you know? We're all human. We're supposed to help each other, but unfortunately, you have people that want to do the opposite. So we don't move forward with those people. We leave them behind. It's that simple. That simple. And I truly, truly believe that. I'm not joking. Let me know what you guys think though. Like, am I being too harsh here? Am I taking things too far? I genuinely don't think so though. Take a look right now. Just turn on your local news. Go pick up a newspaper. See what's going on in the world. And now imagine if 90% of that was gone. Gone. Yeah. When you put it that way, yeah, like the means most definitely justified. And nobody will ever be able to convince me otherwise. But let's move on to our other character. Now, we move on to the big dog himself.
その名はエレン・イエーガー
What can I say? More than he's absolutely relatable and justified, you know? I think when taking a look at these characters, it's very important to be able to empathize with them, right? You really need to be able to put yourself in Eren's shoes, right? Like, imagine you're raised on an island with what you think is the rest of humanity, right? And you're just trying to survive, like really trying to just survive. Make it through the next day, you know? You're constantly being swarmed, besieged by these monsters that just kill mercilessly, take away your loved ones, you know, in the most brutal ways possible. And now, once you discover that humanity is not encaged to the island as you believed, and humanity is in fact thriving and doing well, and more than doing well, they're the ones that are sending the monsters to your island to kill your people. For sport, sometimes. For laugh. For an inheritance you didn't ask for. You're condemned and hunted for the simple fact that you were born. That you were born. And your ancestor 500,000 years ago, however long, but your ancestor, whom you have no connection to, committed some crime, and now you and all your loved ones have to pay for it every single day for the past 500 years. So because of your ancestors, whom you have no connection to, your entire community, your entire island, everybody you know, it suffers because of it. And you take a look around and you think, that's not fair. Now, guys, let's put it like this. If any of you have ever had a sibling, then I'm gonna phrase it like this. As kids, you know, me and my sister would get into arguments, and I used to egg her on, right? I would just push her buttons until she just erupted, right? Like a volcano. Ah! And essentially, this is what the outside world is doing to Eren on a massive scale, right? Massive. So when people tell me, oh, Eren shouldn't have done that, Eren went too far, he shouldn't have killed that many people, they were innocent. True points. You know? Sure, you can say that. Fine. However, with that being said, my rebuttal to that is you cannot push somebody. You cannot push people, and then when they blow up, you're wondering why. It just doesn't work like that. Okay? Humans don't work like that. You cannot push somebody to the edge, and then when they finally jump, you're like, oh my God, what happened? Not how it works. Not how it works. Okay? And poor Eren, you know, he realized that like what he was doing, it was wrong, you know? Of course there were innocents that got killed, but what about his family? Did his mom deserve to die? Huh? Did Armin's grandpa deserve to die? Did all those scouts deserve to die? What about his people? What about his people? Ain't nobody cared. Nobody cared when they were sending Titans over to Parody. No problem. No problem. They're a bunch of devils. Whatever. Who cares? So when the devil finally rises out of Parody, what do you want? Like, what did you expect? What did you expect? You took the guy's comrades. You took the guy's family. Okay? Took his parents, his life. And now it's supposed to be, oh, like, let's just make peace. Make love, not war. Like, no. I am very sorry, you know? But this is where you need to be able to understand people, because if somebody was threatening the people I love, the people I care most, but like, yeah, I will do, like, people don't realize the lengths that people will go to protect their loved ones. And Eren went to great lengths. Of course, he did. But it was to protect his loved ones. And he did that. These guys were all preparing to go to war. They were all planning, grouping up together, the whole outside world, to go finish the job. Sending people in, honeypots, and false agents in to infiltrate and betray and kill. You know, people talk about Eren. So how come Reiner didn't stop nothing? Huh? He went back. He made it back. He could have petitioned to do something. You know, guys, there's people over there, innocent people. I've lived among them. They're not bad. Maybe peace talks can be like, why does the onus always fall onto Eren? You know? Sure. It's easy to say, it's easy to look at somebody and be like, oh, you should be the bigger person. But nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck being the bigger person. Are you crazy? You're trying to demolish this guy's entire island, all his friends, all his family, and he's supposed to what? Bend over and just take it? Like, come on. You can't do that. You can't do that. You literally cannot do that. So I don't care. Of course he's justified. Of course he was justified. Fuck around and find out. That's all that is. Fuck around and find out. Yo, you keep pushing and that's what you get. Don't push people. Don't. Everything's all fun and games until it's reversed, until it turns back on you. Because when the outside world was torturing Parodies for that long, Hundreds of years. Nobody said nothing. It was all fine and cool and dandy. The minute some of that fire gets turned around, reverse, ooh, it's a little hot. Not down. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, ouch. Yeah, ouch. Fuck. Completely. Guys, if you've been listening for this long, I don't know, maybe you don't agree with me, maybe you do agree. Leave it down in the comments below. But maybe just drop me a subscribe too. You've been here this long. You clearly don't mind the soothing sound of my voice. So hit that subscribe button, guys. We're here every week. We're doing breakdowns, theory videos, or just videos like this where we just talk and yap and discuss. So hit that subscribe button, guys. Last but not least, we've got some honorable mentions because, come on, how can you do a video like this? And honestly, guys, if you want a full-length video for some of these honorable mentions like I did for Eren and Light, then just drop it down in the comments below and I will deliver that for you guys. But first up on the honorable mentions, who else but Lelouch? Come on. The guy is the GOAT. The first to do it, the best to do it, okay? Took all the hate and the suffering of an entire country, united them in that hatred, and then went down.
Suzaku, you have to kill me. You must promise.
You're going through with this, no matter what?
As planned, the hatred of the whole world is now focused directly upon me. And now the only thing that remains is to get rid of me and finally break the cycle of hatred.
Like, come on. Come on. What, like, you know what? So many of these characters, they're genuine heroes. Like, they are, like, not broken heroes, none of that. Heroes. Like, these are the kind of people that move history forward. The unsung heroes, you know? We'll never know. They'll never know what they did for you. They'll never know what you did for them. They'll never know. Madara. Man was literally just trying to end every war, end all the conflict, so that everybody can just live an amazing, beautiful life. Free from war, free from death, you know? It might have been an illusion, but who's to say that's more of an illusion than life? Who's to say that this isn't an illusion? You know, we don't know that. So what makes this any more real than the infinite Tsukuyomi? What's the difference? You know, you really have to kind of get down into the nitty and the gritty of it, because when you really start thinking about it, a lot of these guys' end goal was noble, admirable, you know, like they were willing, a lot of them were just willing to take on the brunt of the world to serve humanity, you know, which is, how can you get any more heroic than that? You literally cannot. You literally can't. But let me know, guys, was this just a glaze fest? Or do you think I'm spitting facts? Do you think our own world needs correction? What do you think? Do the ends never justify the means? Or sometimes, are they justified? Is the end really that good? Because sometimes it is. At least, I think so. But you guys let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, you guys. I will be back with another one. Love y'all.